All right, turning to something a little bit harder here. As Israel grapples with a wave of terror attacks and violence, divisions within Israeli society are deepening. But one school in central Israel is forging a new path towards a shared society. And Aurelia Radi has the scoop.
Coexistence, a word heard often in Israeli society. For Givat Haviva, it's not just a buzzword, it's a way of life. Yuval and Nurit are the co-founders of the Givat Haviva International School, an international baccalaureate, or IB program for high schoolers from Israel and around the world. IB offers a comprehensive curriculum focused on building life and critical thinking skills, in addition to traditional academic skills.
It was very clear to us from the beginning that diversity is an amazing energy in education and is something which is a keystone in what we do here.
We had the dream, we had approvals, and we had to make it happen. And it was like a startup. In many ways, it's still a little bit like a startup. We're moving away from it and starting to build foundations to be a successful international school to the future.
Givat Haviva students come from all walks of Israeli society, veering from the traditional educational path in Israel, which sees most students complete their high school degree within their own communities. Joined by students from more than 20 different countries, they not only study together, they live together.
It's not enough that they share the classroom, they needed to share a room together, to really get to know each other. We knew that we will be challenged quite a lot by the fact that in Israel, for example, joint education between Jews and Arabs is very rare and it's stigmatized. And one of the things we wanted to do is to show that it's actually the normal thing.
Some choose to come due to the prestigious IB curriculum, while others want to experience living and learning in a truly shared society.
The IB is very personal. It's not a system made one for all or very cut out. It's very, very individual in a sense.
I lived in France for 2 years when I was a kid, between 2013 to 2015. And I really experienced the concept of shared society there in school. After coming back to Israel here, especially after seeing how divided the Israeli society is, I felt the importance and the significance of a shared society.
It's not only about the studies, even living here together in a room with a Palestinian, a Jew, and an international, it's lifelong knowledge that I think it's more important than my studies.
While different communities in Israeli society often interact in the public sphere, differences in culture, language, and narrative can create stumbling blocks to true coexistence.
I think the community I had around me called itself the very acceptable and warming and welcome. But in reality, I think some people did judge my decision because it's unusual, because it's very easy to speak about how important it is to have shared society and how important it is to have discussions about conflicts and peace and resolutions, but no one actually did it.
May 2021 saw the worst violent flare-up between Israel and the Palestinians since Operation Protective Edge in 2014. Over 12 days, Hamas fired nearly 5,000 rockets at Israeli cities. And in response, the IDF struck over 1,500 sites in the Gaza Strip. But unlike previous escalations, the violence spilled over into Israeli society. Nationalistic riots sprung up in several cities across the country, with Jewish mobs attacking Arab citizens and Arab mobs attacking Jewish citizens, threatening any semblance of coexistence that may have existed. And the past few months have seen a wave of terror attacks. In such a polarizing and emotionally charged conflict, it takes courage to face narratives different from your own.
We have a wide variety who come with different opinions, different ideas, and the trick is not for them to agree with each other. We don't require them to agree with each other. We're not trying to impose a line that everyone has to follow, but for everyone to sit around the same table and speak, and to say everything, even if it's very hurtful, around this table. And especially not only to talk, but to listen.
In the beginning, we noticed that it was difficult for the students to express themselves, but we want to bring them to a place where they can speak, can express things, even painful things.
It affects everyone. It doesn't matter if you're Arab or if you're Jewish, because we were experiencing the same thing. We're experiencing the same backlash and the same, like when now that there are terror attacks. We're both experiencing it. Death doesn't discriminate who is going to die, and we have to see that it's not from the people.
Choose always the hard path that you see, because this is what will develop. Nothing like the comfort zone won't make you successful. Like this path, the hard one will make you successful. So I don't call it hard, I call it needs a bit more work.
Respect is important, and if I respect and I am respected, then opinions about different things, they're not all relevant all the time.
The diverse cultures and diverse traditions comes diverse opinions and ideologies, and I think it's one of the key experiences here at the school is to learn to appreciate these cultures and to understand that we might not agree, but it's an opinion, and behind this opinion there's a human being.
Living and learning with students from other countries can also bring new perspectives to an old conflict.
We have Russian students and we have Ukrainian students, and it's wonderful to see how they can sit here and talk to each other and talk about how they would do it differently. And actually, it's such an important lesson for some of the local students, Jews and Arabs, that think that the Israeli conflict is the only one in the world.
This idea of bringing students from different parts of the world where sometimes conflict has already ended is really, really powerful for people from this country. That this conflict, which is enduring for many, many years, it doesn't mean that it's forever.